And then water scheduling would be the last thing. And again, with the advent of the weather station and the tremendous amount of crop knowledge that's been gathered in the last 20 years, good water scheduling can be applied to virtually any application and reduces overwatering. You know, our greatest fear is putting too much water down. And it just costs you money when you overwater. And it costs you fertilizer, and it can cost you some environmental concerns as well that we've talked about during the quarter. So water scheduling is going to become a career in itself. And there's going to be, and there are already people hired just to do water scheduling on these larger properties that have lots of area to manage. And that's not only in ag, that's also in turf. There are many cities in the country now that are water scheduling all of their parks, for example. And this town has 20-some parks in it. And this town is now linked up. Walla Walla Parks just bought a new total control for all of their park system that'll operate from a central site, and they will be doing water scheduling on all of the parks from a central location. Now the other problem they have to do is get them all automated. They only have a few of the parks automated at this time, but as they automate them, they'll be put onto the system, and in due time the whole town park system will be water scheduled from a central point, and they have one or two weather stations set up to work off of that system as well.
And that's seasonally as well as hourly?
Absolutely. Well, actually with the weather station you're monitoring instantaneous needs. So we don't even look seasonally. The only time we look seasonally at weather stations is to look at long-term planning. We take seasonal data and say, okay, if this is our average year, we can budget so much water that we're going to need and do our planning for the next season. But during the operating year, we're replacing what went away yesterday. You know, with the weather station, we know exactly how much evapotranspiration occurred the day before, and we replace it that day. And with the automated control, it'll just automatically adjust the run times to do that. Now, all of those things we talked about today are all things that are really a follow-up to things we talked about throughout the whole quarter. You know, everything we talked about there was something we talked about during the quarter. And what it all boils down to is it's kind of like a capstone on the whole thing. How can we apply our knowledge to do a better job? And that's what you'd expect from the last class. Here's how we apply this to do a better job.